Hello, creative friends. This is Joy. So I had so much fun making this journal, and if you didn't see the videos on that, you can go back and see that in my playlist under Junk Journal 101. And I decided to make another journal, and this is a lot different. The first one is like a soft, squishy fabric, and this is made out of a book cover, and I sewed in the signatures the same as the other one, and everything else was pretty much the same as the other one. I did make these removable paper clips, and I will show you at the end how I did that. That's the only difference. But basically, in this journal, I did stenciling and stamping, and I have a tuck here, which I had to put a paper clip because those things wouldn't stay, and all kinds of ephemera and stamping, and using ink through stencils and the pocket. I used 12 by 12 paper in this one, so some of them I folded up into pockets, some of them I turned into corner tucks, and here's one that's a 12 by 12 and I folded it up and made it into a pocket, and others I just cut it off to the size that I needed. And little stamping, more ephemera that was glued in. Here's a corner tuck. And again, a lot of the same stuff as what I did in the other one. Stencils, stamping, stickers, ephemera, yeah, and a belly band. So that belly band was made out of what I cut off the 12 by 12 sheets of paper that I used in here that I did not turn into a pocket. And then the corner tuck, here's one where I turned into a pocket. Stamping, more ephemera, and there's a index card that I glued there with some stamping, a corner tuck, another side tuck. Again, I had to put a paper clip because it wasn't staying in there, and I stenciled on it. More stenciling, stamping, ephemera, another pocket, stamping, stamping, ephemera. So yeah, a lot of this is the same. So go back and watch the video how I created the first one to see a lot of these same techniques used there. And so this is a quick flip through. And some of the paper clips may look familiar. I had to declutter the other one a bit because it was so stuffed full you couldn't even hardly open it. And when I decided I was going to make another one, I'm like, because I was trying to put everything into that one, and I'm like, I need to pull some of these out. Another belly band I made out of scraps. I need to pull some of these out and make another one. Stenciling and stamping, ephemera. And so, yeah, I pulled out a few things from the other so it wasn't so full and I could actually open it and use it and put it in here. But then I made other paper clips for this one and tags. Here's one of the tags. I made some new tags for this one, which again is similar like I made for the other one. So again, go back and look at how I created the tags and the side pockets and tucks and all that, belly bands for it. The only difference here is, like I said, the scraps where I cut the 12 by 12 paper down to fit this, I just used those as the belly band in this journal. And I also used the cut-offs to make my removable paper clips, which I will show you at the end how I made those. Super simple. Stamping, or stenciling, sorry. Another tag, another pocket, more ephemera, more stenciling, more ephemera, pockets, more pockets there. And here is index card which I stamped on top for a little decoration. You'll see that throughout, which is the same as what I did. And the other, a side tuck, and just showing you the card with the stamping. Another pocket. And so yeah, I had a lot of fun making the second one. These are just a blast to make. They're so much fun, and I'm enjoying using up all this ephemera that I've been hoarding all these years. And this, I realized, was not stuck down very good, so let's try again. We're going to try to get this one to stick down. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble getting it to stick to this paper, but yeah, for whatever reason it doesn't want to stay down. And this is just some ephemera from my stash. And like I said, it just loving, being able to use up a lot of this stuff that I've been collecting and hoarding. I've been such a collector over the years and not really using up all the stuff that I've been collecting and hoarding. So it's kind of nice to start seeing some of this stuff get used and put to good use. Some of these papers in here is from paper pack that I got from Balzo Design and from the Paper Outpost, more stamping and stenciling. Oh, here I wanted to show an envelope, and then of course from my own stash. And I just made this little envelope, put some stuff in there, did some stenciling on the outside with the little sticker, and put it in the belly band. So cute. Another side tuck. And so yeah, just using up all of this stuff that I've been enjoying, but not really having it all together like this is just wonderful. So that's another side pocket that what I put in there is kind of thick, but it just seems like it needs something else. So I grabbed my baskets of ephemera that I still have left over, and which I still have quite a bit. Believe it or not, I still got more left over, and decided to stick a few more pieces in this pocket. And I did pull out some 12 by 12 Tim Holtz paper, which I used in here as pages, but I also cut some of them up so that I would have more ephemera to add to this journal, because some of the Tim Holtz paper is like pictures and stuff that is in a 12 by 12, but you can cut it into pieces and use it as ephemera. And so I did that to have some additional ephemera to add to this. So I did use up a lot making the first one, and so then I went through and pulled out some more stickers, some more die cuts, and cut up some of the Tim Holtz paper and replenished my ephemera in those little baskets like I did with the last one, so that I could continue to have more options for ephemera to stick into this one. So that is the flip through of the journal that I made, and it's nice and big and chunky. I love it. And now let me show you how I went through and made the little removable tabs. I've seen a few other people make these, but I don't know. They make it so complicated. I can make it a lot easier. So basically, these are still some scraps that I had left over from making the journal and the pages. So basically, I just folded it in half, and like there's writing on the one side that I wanted to show, and it was towards the one end, so that's why I folded it this way. And I folded it so that the writing's on the inside, because that's eventually going to be on the outside. So I put my paper clip on here. I fold up. I had to turn around because the long side wasn't giving me enough paper at the top, and then I turn it around and I fold up on the other side. So basically, the length of the paper clip is what determines, how long the paper is on each side. And then I just clip off the other half to match, the first half. And then I take my glue, and I always start with the smaller side, and I put a bunch of glue on the side that's got the smaller paper clip, and then I take the glue and I put it all over the top of the smaller of the top there, and all over the other side with the big paper clip, and I put it together and make sure that it's all lined up, and I smush, smush, smush. Want to make sure I close my glue so it doesn't dry up on me. So that's what I'm doing here, and I just keep smushing it, because it does take a minute, or a couple of seconds at least, for the glue to take a hold and to work its way into the paper and to stick. So I just keep, molding it around the paper clip and smushing it to make sure that it's good and adhered. Then I get my quarter rounder, and I used a 1/2 inch. And this is how I did the other paper clips. It's just the other ones I used a small one. I couldn't find a small one, so this one I used a big one. And I thought, well, I can make it and use it, as like a bookmark at the top. No big deal. And then I got my walnut ink here, and I went around the edges. And this is exactly how I made the other ones. It's just this is bigger. I didn't want to do big ones for my little tabs. I wanted to use a smaller one, so that's what I did. I used smaller paper clips, did the exact same thing. Just took a piece of leftover paper, folded it in half, stuck it on there, folded it up, on either end, wherever the paper clip ended, glued it, cut it, glued it, um, rounded the corners, and then inked it. So yeah, I'm going to use this actually as a bookmark. I think that's going to work great. And there goes my clock. Goodness. Every time. And so that'll make a great bookmark. But when I did the tabs, and you'll see this is much bigger than the tabs, I put it on the page, closed it. I want to make sure it was inside the cover. So I did have to trim those off just a tad before I rounded the corners and inked it. So that's the one thing you want to check if you're going to use it for tabs, to make sure how far they stick out, and that makes it so much easier just to snip off, if you need to, and there you go. Easy peasy, easiest way I, figured out to make them, and now I have a nice little bookmark for my journal. So thank you for stopping by and watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.